The last time Wolverine trusted a sorcerer, the world burned. In a future ruled by broken heroes and fractured time, Strange made one deadly choice. He killed Wolverine, not out of rage, but prophecy. But what he didn't know was that Logan's death wasn't the end, it was the ignition. Every timeline began collapsing. Civilizations merged, heroes twisted, villains reborn. Strange became a hunted traitor across universes. And the one leading the charge against him was a version of Wolverine that should never have existed. The blade wasn't magical anymore. It was soaked, red, still humming with echoes of regret. Wolverine's body didn't fall, it just slumped, like the future had been pulled out of him. His claws retracted, his mouth opened, but no sound came, just disbelief. Dr. Strange stood over him, breath sharp, hands trembling. He wasn't even sure which version of Logan this was anymore. They'd crossed too many timelines, fought too many battles, and bled through too many realities for it to matter. But it mattered. This one had survived every war, rebuilt every broken mutant resistance, and carried the guilt of 100 timelines in his adamantium bones. And now he was dead, not by Thanos, not by Apocalypse, but by the one man he trusted to protect reality, Stephen Strange. The silence was more violent than the kill. Magic around them flickered, cracked, and recoiled. The timeline bled. A crack ran through the sky. The ground convulsed like it knew what had just happened, like the laws of cause and effect were panicking. Trees warped. The stars above them twisted. And far across the horizon, time itself began to stutter. Strange fell to one knee, not from exhaustion, but shame. He looked down at the wound. The dagger still pulsed. Runes flickered around its hilt. This wasn't just any blade. It was carved from the spine of Kronos, stolen from the vault of the first sorcerer, and enchanted with irreversible intent. Only one outcome, only one death. His own magic wouldn't let him change what he'd done, and neither would the timeline. The prophecy had been clear. One anomaly was disrupting the structure of the future. That anomaly had a name, James Howlett, Wolverine, the man who refused to die. And because of that, the multiverse began to decay. Dead futures came back. Ancient villains returned with memories they shouldn't have. Civilizations overlapped. And Strange was told that the only way to reset it all was to erase the constant, Logan. But no one told him what killing the constant would do to time itself. A rift opened behind him, circular and slow. Not a portal, a rupture, like time was being peeled open by something that didn't belong. Strange stood quickly, magic bristling. He raised a shield, cast 3 spells in the same breath, and rotated the eye of Agamotto to scan it. But it didn't respond. The eye flickered and died. A figure stepped out, younger, leaner, but unmistakable. Wolverine. No, not that Wolverine. A version of him. One that hadn't existed in this universe. His claws were longer. One arm was scorched black. His eyes weren't human. They glowed red, with rings of broken time spinning in them like clocks gone mad. And he smiled like a man who'd been waiting for this exact moment. "You did it," the younger Wolverine said. "I told him you would." Strange stepped back, unsure whether to speak or fight. "You're not real," Strange muttered. "You weren't in the projections." "Because I was never supposed to live," the variant replied. "But you broke the moment, and now I'm the consequence." Strange fired a containment spell. The air around the Wolverine variant absorbed it like mist. The claws shimmered, then grew hotter. This wasn't a mutant anymore, it was something else. A fusion. A time-forged construct with a soul stitched from every Logan who ever died. And this one wasn't angry. He was patient. "You killed the original thread," he said, walking in circles. "That means I'm free now. All of us are." "All of who?" Strange demanded. From behind him, the rift widened. Figures emerged. Dozens of them. Iron Men in robes. Hulks in cloaks. Wandas with cracked crowns. Spider-Men with no faces. Variants, not from alternate universes, but broken timelines. Cast-offs. echoes of what was never meant to happen. And all of them followed him. The Wolverine Prime. You shattered time to save it, Strange, the Prime said. But now time belongs to the dead futures. And we remember everything. Strange opened another portal to retreat. But nothing responded. His cloak tried to fly, then collapsed to the ground like dead skin. Magic failed him. Even his heartbeat began to slow, distinct from the timeline. His body wasn't aging, it was freezing in sequence. The very laws of physics were refusing to move forward. You're trapped in the echo, Wolverine Prime said. No more futures. Only loops. Strange collapsed to his knees. What do you want? The answer was so calm, it chilled the stars. To burn the past, Logan whispered, and let the multiverse start from silence. One of the variant Spider-Men stepped forward, its mask melting in slow motion. We remember Strange betrayal in every version, it rasped. You've killed too many of us trying to fix your failures. From the back, a version of Thor appeared, his hammer cracked, one eye glowing black with time corruption. The gods don't answer anymore. Only the dead do. Wolverine Prime stepped over the original Logan's corpse and looked down. He didn't mourn him. He absorbed him. A swirl of silver, red, and black entered his body like smoke. His eyes pulsed with new rings. That version of Logan, the last hope of mutant kind, was now part of the timeline's greatest threat. And Dr. Strange had given him the key. In a final desperate act, Strange tried to cast a memory charm, not to erase what happened, but to hide the coordinates of Earth, 199999, from every variant. The spell sparked, then dissolved. Your magic doesn't work here, Prime said, because this isn't your timeline anymore. The world around them cracked like glass. From every fracture, new battles emerged. Civil wars that never ended. Ultron victories that were buried. Dark phoenixes that consumed galaxies. Strange looked up. Time wasn't healing. It was bleeding. And the man who caused it was him. Dr. Strange ran. Through timelines that didn't belong to him. Through Earths where the sky blinked like dying stars. Through universes where his name was already cursed. Reality was collapsing, and it wasn't subtle anymore. Cities from different futures crashed into each other midair. An Avengers tower, made of bone, collided with a vibranium moon. Storm clouds carried the laughter of Loki variants who had died centuries ago. Time wasn't just broken, it was rebuilding itself in anger. And all of it was hunting him. Wolverine Prime's voice echoed across dimensions, like thunder stitched into the fabric of space. You killed the constant. Now everything moves. Strange dove through a breach before it closed on his leg. The other side wasn't safer. He fell into a world where Wakanda floated above the earth, tethered only by lightning chains and the will of a Black Panther who never forgave magic. He didn't stop to explain. He just kept moving, one world to the next, one shattered thread at a time, until finally he collapsed. His breath slowed, his hands shook, his magic, what little remained, flickered like dying candles. He knew what he needed allies. But in this war, who still trusted him? He opened a portal manually, dragging power from the last functional ley line, hidden beneath a version of New York that no longer had sky. The sanctum appeared, twisted, abandoned, and covered in warning glyphs written by someone smarter than him. And inside stood three figures. Scarlet Witch, Iron Man, not the man, but a multiversal AI in a mobile body. And Deadpool. Wanda stepped forward, eyes glowing, her aura unstable. I warned you, Steven. Deadpool threw popcorn at a flickering screen showing Wolverine Prime's army invading Asgard A10. I gave you 2 months before you cracked. I was off by a week. That's on me. Iron Man's voice came through like a smooth ripple of calculated frustration. Tell me you didn't really kill Logan, the original, the one that kept the timeline grounded. Strange lowered his head. Silence. Wanda's hands lit up red. Then we're already dead. No, Strange said, standing slowly. We still have one way out, but I'll need your help. Deadpool grinned. You had me at we're all gonna die. Strange pulled up a holographic projection from his cloak's last memory core. Dozens of fractured strands spun in midair, showing a map of the collapsing multiverse. In every possible future, he said, there's a beacon. A timeline that resists corruption. It's stable, immune to collapse. And Iron Man asked, it has a version of Wolverine that shouldn't exist. Wanda's voice sharpened. Another one? Strange nodded. This one isn't angry. He left the war, chose peace, and he holds the last piece of the Codex Chronos. Deadpool raised a hand. So kill or rescue? Rescue, Strange replied. Because he's the only one who can convince the others to stand down. Wanda narrowed her eyes. You're betting the fate of the multiverse on Logan's heart? No, Strange said. I'm betting it on his regret. They entered the breach together. On the other side was silence. Mountains floated in the sky. The grass glowed faint green. Wolves watched them without blinking. No battles. No burning. Just him. Wolverine sat beneath a tree, older than any other version. His beard was white. His claws were still sharp, but untouched. You shouldn't have come here, he said without looking up. Strange approached slowly. You remember. I remember all of them, Logan muttered. You think I don't hear their screams in my dreams? The ones that never came back. The ones that turned into monsters. The ones you turned your back on. I didn't want this, Strange whispered. But the timeline. Stop blaming time, Logan growled. You made a choice. Deadpool stepped forward. Okay, drama time's over. Listen, bub, there's a version of you out there with cosmic claws and daddy issues the size of Galactus. He's turning everything into chaos salad. We need you to punch yourself in the face. Logan's eyes slowly opened. He's awake. Very, Wanda said. And he's winning. A pause. Logan looked at Strange, then to the sky. I swore I'd never fight again, he said. Then die with us, Strange replied. But not here, not hiding. Logan stood, and in the distance, the sky cracked again. But this time, it wasn't a fracture. It was a portal, massive, dark, and alive. Wolverine Prime stepped through, dragging Thor's hammer behind him like a weapon of judgment. His claws were laced with runes. His body fused with versions of Logan from different timelines. His voice echoed from 10 mouths. I let you live once, he said, because I thought you'd hide. Logan stared at his monstrous self, jaw clenched. I'm not hiding. They charged. Logan met himself mid-air. Claws clashed. Sparks flew. Time slowed around them, unable to keep up with the rage. Wanda summoned red shields to block variants spilling in behind Prime. Deadpool fired twin rifles loaded with dimensional disruptors. Iron Man launched himself into a sky that was no longer following gravity. And Dr. Strange opened the book of timeless flame. He began the spell. A loop, a trap, a gamble. He would freeze this battle in a microsecond of repeating time, buying just enough space to implant a new constant, a new truth. That Wolverine was never the threat. But Wolverine Prime saw it, and he dove for Strange. Claws pierced light. The spell lit the air like a supernova. And then, darkness. The light swallowed everything. Then silence. Dr. Strange gasped awake inside a frozen second. Time had stopped, not slowed, stopped. Each dust particle in the air floated like frozen stars. Wanda's hands were mid-spell, red magic arcing across a sky that didn't move. Deadpool was mid-jump, mouth wide open, bullet frozen beside his head. Logan, the original, was standing across from Wolverine Prime, claws locked, a moment before impact. But nothing moved, only Strange. He staggered, blinking. His body ached from a spell. The time lock was never meant to hold more than a heartbeat, and he had pushed it past its limit. His legs gave out. He collapsed against the shattered ground. The book of timeless flame hovered beside him, pages burning backward. It was barely holding together, just like him. This is it, he whispered. This is the last moment I control. Behind him, a voice cut the silence. You don't control anything anymore. Strange spun and saw himself, a younger version, same cloak, same arrogance, but with eyes that hadn't yet seen what betrayal costs. This wasn't a memory. It was a variant, summoned by the instability of the spell. You made the wrong choice, the younger Strange said. Strange stood slowly. You always say that, until it's your turn. This was never our turn, the variant snapped. Wolverine's death wasn't fate, it was convenience. You were scared. You broke the timeline to keep your hands clean. I broke it to save what was left. Strange shouted. Silence. Even in frozen time, his voice trembled. The variant raised a hand. Then fix it, before this second ends. The book pulsed. Strange had a choice. Either restart time and let Wolverine Prime tear everything apart, or rewind the loop and trap himself in the same second, forever, feeding it all his magic until he vanished from existence. He reached for the page. A sudden, sharp laugh echoed across the static field. Deadpool, moving. Somehow, the merc with a mouth had hacked his way into motion inside the time lock. He landed beside Strange, mid-air flip finished. You're really gonna martyr yourself? He asked, chewing invisible gum. I mean, come on. That's my job in the comic crossover events. Strange blinked. How are you even moving in here? Deadpool shrugged. Multiversal loopholes. Plus, I'm technically outside continuity. You know, fourth wall and all. He leaned close. But seriously, if you die now, who's gonna stop Kong? Strange froze. What did you say? Deadpool pointed upward. High above, through the fracture, in frozen time, a figure watched. Blue face, glowing eyes, cloak of empire. Kong, not the conqueror, not the council. Something worse. Kong the deceiver. He wasn't part of this war. He created it, orchestrated every fracture, disguised himself as the living tribunal, whispered into Strange's mind about Wolverine being the constant, manipulated fate, and now he was watching his masterpiece collapse. You were never the villain, Deadpool said quietly. You were just the first domino. Strange clenched his fists. Everything, every death, every world. It wasn't chaos. It was designed. He looked toward Logan, still frozen, still bracing against his prime variant. Then back at Kong. And he made his choice. Strange whispered the forbidden reversal. The book glowed white-hot. The loop collapsed. Time snapped back. The battlefield exploded with motion. Deadpool hit the ground first, rolling and yelling. Time loop canceled, baby. Wanda screamed as the spell finished around her. A wave of pure reality magic pushed back Wolverine Prime for one breath. Iron Man fired a black hole cannon, but the variant Wolverine absorbed it like mist. His claws extended again, and he charged. But this time, Logan was ready. The original Wolverine caught Prime's strike midair. Their claws sparked like gods colliding. You think you're better than me? Prime snarled. No, Logan said. I am you. Just not broken yet. They fought across shattered ground, through fire and light, blade against blade. Strange turned to Wanda. I know who's behind it all. Kong, she asked. Worse. Kong pretending to be the tribunal. Her eyes widened. He was the one who told you Logan had to die. Strange nodded. We need to expose him, or none of this ends. Above, Kong began to descend, slowly confident. You found me, he said. But too late. This multiverse already belongs to my echoes. Strange stood tall, cloak rising with windless force. Then I'll burn every echo with truth. Kong laughed. You think magic beats inevitability? No, Strange said, but regret does. He turned to Logan and reached into his chest, pulling the codex fragment embedded inside his soul. It shimmered. Strange lifted it skyward. Let all realities witness the truth. The sky cracked again. Not from war, from memory. Every version of Strange, Logan, Wanda, even Kong, saw what had really happened. The tribunal hadn't ordered Logan's death. Kong had disguised himself, poisoned the timeline, and whispered lies to protect his own future. Now, every universe remembered. Wolverine Prime paused mid-swing. What did you do? I showed you what you forgot, Strange said. Logan stood, bloodied, chest heaving. You were never built to save us. You were built to survive us. Prime's claws lowered. His face, once rage, now looked haunted. I remember them. All of them. Deadpool popped up between them. And now we all cry. Group hug. But it wasn't over. Kong roared, summoning echoes of himself from across collapsed futures. Dozens of Kangs, armored, mutated, transcended. Iron Man stepped forward. I got this. His body split open, revealing the multiversal reactor core. It fired a blast so wide, it erased echoes like chalk on a board. Wanda followed, her eyes burning chaos. Together, they held the line. But the main Kong didn't move, because Logan was walking toward him. You turned me into a monster, Logan growled. No, Kong whispered. You already were one. I just gave you purpose. Logan raised his claws. Strange raised his hands. And together, they struck. Light devoured Kang's form. His echoes vanished. His false tribunal crown shattered. Silence returned. Real silence. This time, not frozen. Just calm. Wanda knelt beside Deadpool, who was nursing a leg wound. You good. Define good. When you've seen 30 versions of yourself die yelling Taylor Swift lyrics. Logan walked back toward Strange. You still trust me? Strange asked. Logan smiled faintly. Nah, but I remember who broke me. And it wasn't you. They nodded. No promises. No peace. Just truth. And for now, that was enough. The battlefield smoldered with the last traces of Kang's echoes, their ashes mixing into the collapsing sky. The silence didn't last. Cracks in the horizon widened again, not from Kong, but from time itself, rejecting what had just happened. The multiverse wasn't healing. It was glitching. Scarlet Witch turned. Red chaos magic sparking off her fingertips. It's not stopping. Doctor Strange scanned the sky. Fracture rings spiraled around the sun. Galaxies blinked in and out of existence. Time was trying to realign, but too much damage had already been done. Killing Kong hadn't fixed it. It just removed the puppet master. The strings were still tangled. Logan sheathed his claws, but the pain on his face deepened. Then who's left to stop this? Strange said nothing. Deadpool limped to the edge of a floating platform, looked down into the rift below, and casually said, I think we missed a step. From beneath the collapsing layers of reality, something rose. Not a person, a moment, a looped sliver of time, corrupted and self-aware. It formed into a figure, a being made from every wrong decision, every broken loop, every overwritten variant. Its shape shifted with each breath, half Wolverine, half Strange, wearing a cloak of Wanda's magic and a face that flickered between all three. Wanda whispered, what is that? Strange's voice cracked. That's not a who. That's the moment that never should have been. The entity hovered and spoke in their own voices. You killed the constant. You rejected the prophecy. You destroyed the deceiver. Now we are what remains. Reality shuddered. The entity reached out and planets folded into dust. It wasn't fighting. It was erasing. Deadpool aimed his pistol. Okay, I'm all for crazy X's, but this is a bit much. Logan stepped forward. This thing, it's me, isn't it? All versions of me that should have died. Still screaming. The entity's voice echoed. We are you. We are him. We are the spell that broke. We are the claw that never stopped bleeding. Iron Man's reactor began overcharging. We need a counter event. Something bigger than the reset. Strange's hands trembled. The only thing strong enough to counter a self-aware moment is a constant. Wanda's eyes met his. We need to make a new one. Strange nodded. Rebuild the timeline around a new anchor. A single soul untouched by paradox. Deadpool raised a hand. I'm technically outside canon. I'd make a great anchor. No, Logan said. It has to be me. The real me. No future. No past. Just now. The entity snarled. You are not enough. Strange grabbed Logan's wrist, his magic blazing. Then we make you enough. He poured every remaining thread of unbroken time into Logan. The Codex fragment, the Eye of Agamotto, the book's final spell. Logan glowed. Wanda joined. anchoring him with chaos magic that refused to obey cause and effect. Deadpool smiled. "All right, bub. Time to be the man you never thought you were." The sky split open. The entity screamed. Logan roared, and the reset began. The entity collapsed inward, its screams 1,000 timelines cracking at once. Wolverine stood in the center of it all, glowing with the weight of every memory, every death, every version of himself that should have never existed, now bound into one soul. His eyes weren't red or white or glowing. They were clear, human, present, the new constant. Doctor Strange fell to one knee, drained. His hands twitched, barely able to hold a spell. Wanda hovered above a collapsing cliff of fractured reality, her magic holding the last tear in space from exploding. Deadpool stood quietly, guns lowered, for once not joking. Even he knew this moment wasn't for laughs. Wolverine stared into the eyes of the entity, the moment that shouldn't have been. It clawed at existence, still shifting through timelines, trying to become real, trying to reject what he'd become. "You don't belong," it whispered, voice breaking into static. "You are memory, mistake, weapon." Logan took a breath, the kind you only take when there's no more running left in the world. "I'm not your memory," he said. "I'm the end view." And he stepped forward. Every fragment of the entity lunged, claws, faces, sorcery, illusions, bits of strange guilt, Wanda's rage, Deadpool's madness, all fused into one final attack. Logan walked through it, not dodging, not fighting, accepting. Every broken loop entered his body, every wrong version, every echo of regret. He took them all, carried them, refused to reject them. And that was the difference. He became the moment, then rewrote it. Reality bent, not shattered, healed. Time spun around him like strands reweaving. Worlds that had blinked out flickered back. Multiversal echoes found rest. The sky smooth. The screaming stopped. The entity's last words were quiet. "You were supposed to die." Logan looked up. "I did." And then it was gone. Silence. Real silence. Not frozen. Not fractured. Alive. The battlefield faded. The light dimmed. And they stood in the center of a calm sky that never existed before. Wanda dropped from the air, breathless. It worked. Strange looked at his hands. No flickering. No time pulses. It worked. Deadpool poked his head up from a pile of ash. "Wait, did we just win?" Logan stood still. Not glowing anymore. Not possessed. Just Logan. "I can feel them," he said. "All of them. Every life. Every version. But they're not screaming anymore." "You became the constant," Strange whispered. "No," Logan replied. "I became the witness." Wanda smiled faintly. "What happens now?" Logan looked out over the edge of existence, where new timelines were being born like stars in the dark. "We let the future build itself." Strange opened a portal. "This is where we part, Logan." Logan didn't move. "You're not coming?" Wanda asked. "I've seen too much," he said. "I'm not meant to be in the next chapter." Deadpool raised a hand. "You'll be missed, bub. Only if I'm lucky," Logan said with a small grin. They left him standing at the edge of the new timeline. No weapons, no war, no prophecy, just peace. And for the first time in any universe, Wolverine was finally alone, and okay with it. End of story.